Hey, Shalom. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, underneath Commander General Yohana. We are not affiliated or associated with any other Israelite group. Tonight's topic, man, we're going to go into some history over Juneteenth, man. I know everybody this Saturday, we seen a lot of our people going out and celebrating Juneteenth, but America has decided to make Juneteenth a national holiday in America. You know, no different than how they made Martin Luther King Day a national holiday in America. You know what I'm saying? They went out and did the same thing with Juneteenth. And I'm not too sure if anybody's familiar with Juneteenth, but I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a little information on Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a lot of our people celebrate it every year, you know, and which is really not, I understand the whole thing behind it. You know what I'm saying? I understand everything behind Juneteenth, and I'm going to get y'all some information on it and what it represents and what we, you know, what people do to celebrate it. All right, let me get this for you right quick, this article. All right, I'm going to give you some history on Juneteenth. All right. It says Juneteenth commemorates the end of slavery and marks the date in 1865 that Union Army Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas to tell 250,000 enslaved people they'd been freed by the Emancipation Proclamation 2.5 years earlier. When President Abraham Lincoln issued the proclamation on January 1st, 1863, there was no Snapchat or Instagram or GroupMe or anything. All right, so I'm just reading a little bit of this article. All right, it says the news reached different places at different times, leading to different traditions. Many Black East Tennesseans have traditionally commemorated emancipation on August the 8th, the day in 1863 at the Civil War's midpoint that Tennessee Governor Andrew Johnson freed his slaves at his family's farm in Greenville. Celebrations complete with the bands and picnics sprung up in Greenville as early as 1871 and spread to other states from there. All right, so the whole history behind Juneteenth was really supposed to be the day that so-called Black people had got free from being in slavery. So they say. But America went this week and passed, last week, they went and passed the bill for Juneteenth to become a national holiday. Let me get y'all the article on that. Get y'all the history on this now. All right. Yeah, here you go, right here. Wow. Okay, here we go. All right, this is an article from CNBC, and the title reads, Under Trump, Juneteenth was married by controversy with Biden. It's a federal holiday. All right. It says, the scene at the White House on Thursday might have been hard to fathom just 1 year ago. A diverse crowd of lawmakers, activists, and community leaders including pop icon Usher, with whom many photos were taken, gathered in the East Room to witness President Joe Biden sign into the law a new federal holiday, Juneteenth, which on June the 19th commemorates the end of slavery in the United States. With the coronavirus infection near record lows in the U.S. amid a full-bore vaccination campaign at all levels of government, few members of the indoors in-person crowd were seen wearing masks. All right. We are gathered here in a house built by enslaved people, said Vice President Kamala Harris. And note that what she just said. She said, we are gathered here in a house built by enslaved people. Kamala Harris said enslaved people, but she didn't notice herself as one of those enslaved people. Kamala Harris didn't say, we are gathered here in the White House, which was built by my people who were enslaved. She said, we are gathered here in the White House built by enslaved people, because Kamala Harris also is not a black woman. You know what I'm saying? All right. It says, we are gathered here in a house built by enslaved people, said Vice President Kamala Harris. We are the footsteps away from where President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, and we are here to witness President Joe Biden establish Juneteenth as a national holiday. We have come far and we have far to go, but today is a day of celebration, Harris said. As she spoke, the president stepped off the podium and approached the front row, then knelt down to embrace Opal Lee, the 94-year-old Texas activist credited as the driving force behind the push for the new holiday. So this is what happened this weekend. You know what I'm saying? They pushed that bill into existence to make this a law, to make Juneteenth a law, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was a sad thing to see, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the people who pushed for Juneteenth to be pushed were not the people who were celebrating that before. You got to understand something. Juneteenth was being celebrated year by year anyway. You know, last year you had black folks celebrating Juneteenth. Year before that, you know what I'm saying? Our people have been celebrating the Juneteenth. But our weak leaders, man, our weak black Christian leaders and politicians, they weren't comfortable with us celebrating it day by day. They didn't acknowledge that. They didn't acknowledge the fact that black people already had celebrated the Juneteenth. That wasn't good enough for them. What was good enough for them was when they went to Massa, and Massa said, okay, we're going to now acknowledge a holiday. And when Massa signed the bill into law, now everybody's happy. Now everybody's fine with that. Now we have truly accomplished something because Massa acknowledges it. And that goes to show you, with our black leaders, what we do isn't good enough for them. It's only good for them when the so-called oppressor say it's good, when he agrees with it. But you let them tell it, we ain't slaves anymore, we free. Well, if we were free from slavery, how come our people had to go up to so-called Joe Biden and ask him to acknowledge the fact of us being free? To acknowledge the day that we were free, if we so-called free. You know, why we had to go to Massa and get him to sign the bill to make it a federal holiday just so everybody can understand that we truly are not slaves anymore. Our leaders are weak, man. All right, let me get a scripture for y'all, man. If y'all could, man, go to Ecclesiastes 7, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. All right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7. It says, surely oppression make a wise man mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what people don't understand. They don't understand why brothers here in the ISUPK are angry, man. Why we are so mad, man. Because they say that we're free from slavery. But here in the ISUPK, we understand that we are still oppressed. We are still being destroyed and murdered in the streets of America. And we understand that we are not free from slavery just because some oppressors signed a bill back in 1863 saying that we were free. Because what people don't understand was, like they said, Abraham Lincoln signed that bill into existence. So like it, January the 1st, 1863. But it took 2 years later for the cavalry to come down to Texas. Not to everybody not to all black folks in America, but just in Texas, where over 250,000 black people were. And he came there and told them that they were free from slavery. And let me ask you a question. Even though they said we were free from slavery, do you think that changed the conditions of how we were living right off the bat? Yeah, the U.S. Army came down and said we were free from slavery. But do you really think it changed the conditions on how we were living in Texas after they came and told us that? You think it really stopped the so-called oppressor from killing us and murdering us in Texas after they found out they were free slaves? And if anybody's in the chat, you can answer that question. Do you think in 1865, when the Texas Cavalry came down into Texas and told over 250,000 black people that they were free from slavery, do you think their conditions changed immediately like that? You got a little time to answer the question. Right, even, okay, Ashan, brother Ashan said, and he's right. You know what I'm saying? Our conditions didn't change. All right, the brother Young Man D'Angelo, y'all right. No, it did not change. Our condition did not change when the U.S. Cavalry came down and told us that we were free from slavery. We didn't get, they thought, they told us that we were free from slavery, but it didn't stop slavery. It didn't stop it. You got to understand, this was only in Texas. Notice they didn't mention Mississippi. Notice they didn't mention Alabama, Louisiana, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. Even though Abraham Lincoln passed this bill, you got to understand something. The South hated Abraham Lincoln. They hated Abraham Lincoln. And do you really think they listened to what he said when he told everybody in America that the slaves are free from now? You really believe that, okay, he passed this bill, we ain't slaves no more, y'all, we free. No, it didn't, man. We were still being mistreated and beaten, man. We were still being done dirty. We were still being hung. We were still being lynched. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to find that book that I read last week, man. You got to understand something. These things were happening in the 1800s as well. Even though we were so-called free from slavery, that story I read to you about the sister, man, Mary Butler, you know what I'm saying? That sister, man, she was hung from her feet upside down and set on fire with gasoline until where it burnt her clothes off. And then they took her body while she was still alive, cut her stomach open while she was pregnant, and allowed her baby to fall out of her stomach on the ground and step on the baby, and then shoot her body over 100 times. This was after so-called President Abraham Lincoln said we were free. Even though he passed that law into existence, saying that black people were no longer slaves anymore, man. But I understand why our people celebrate it, man. They celebrate Juneteenth. But the scripture says this, man. The scripture says this right here. It says, surely oppression make a wise man mad. You know what I'm saying? Any wise man would be angry, man, because they understand this right here. Just like all the brothers in this ISUPK, we understand this right here. Even though the so-called oppressors say that we're free, we still are being oppressed in America, man. We still are being oppressed. We are still slaves here in America, man. Even though they say we're free. You know what I'm saying? And our people were celebrating Juneteenth because they like to, you know, we wanted to have something that was ours, man. We just wanted to have something that was ours because we sat back and we looked at everybody else. They had something to celebrate. Like you had July the 4th, where the so-called Caucasian man, so-called oppressor, he celebrates his independence. And so we wanted to do the same thing. We wanted to have something else to show that we have an Independence Day, that we have a day where we gained our independence. And that's what Juneteenth was a celebration of. It was a day that we got our freedom. Because what you got to understand is when America got their freedom from Britain, they made a day called Independence Day, which was July the 4th. And so what did we do? We did the same thing. And we decided to make a day called Juneteenth to celebrate our independence. But we don't have independence, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't have independence because we are still dependent upon America. We still are relying on America, man, to help us. You know what I'm saying? But you had our weak leaders, man. You had our weak leaders who were just so happy to get the so-called oppressor to acknowledge our independence. And then this is the worst thing about it. Even though they made this a federal holiday, do you think this is really going to change? Like, I seen comments from oppressors, man, who seen the bill get passed. You know how they got the comment section under certain articles? I seen the comments under certain articles. I seen the comments underneath certain videos on YouTube, different news stations like CNN, where they had so-called the black leaders talking about how they felt about Juneteenth being made a federal day. And you had one oppressor said, I would rather throw up in my hands and shake, and he said, I would rather throw up in my mouth and swallow it before I acknowledge Juneteenth as a federal holiday. Because Juneteenth isn't for everybody. It's just to make us happy. You know what I'm saying? It becoming a federal holiday isn't for oppressors. It is not for the so-called Caucasian Americans. It's really just for black people to make them shut up. That's all it is. It's just to make us shut up, be quiet, and be happy. That's it. That's why Kamala Harris said that, which what she said. She said it should be a day to be celebrated. Because the only thing it's doing is just putting us back to sleep, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all it's doing is putting us back to sleep. All right, I'm going to get the rest of the scripture, man. All right, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression make a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. And that's what we don't understand, man. Juneteenth was just another gift from these oppressors, man. And it has furthermore destroyed our hearts. And what a lot of our black leaders, what they don't understand is these so-called political, like the president and these other political Edomite devils, you know what I'm saying? They understand how stupid we look being happy at the fact that we got a day to celebrate Juneteenth. Juneteenth is no different than Mother's Day, man. Juneteenth is no different than Christmas. That's what we got. We got another Christmas. Juneteenth is no different than the 4th of July, man. Now it is. Because the so-called oppressor signed it and made it a federal holiday. You know what I'm saying? Like, these gifts, man, they destroy our hearts, man. And let me see, can I get this article from this sister, man? Sheesh. This sister, man, this sister Jackson Lee, man. Sheila Jackson Lee, man. Disgusting. Oh. Very disgusting, man. Let me see, can I get this article from what she was saying on MS. Yeah, this is from a sister who's a representative, who's a Republican for America, man. She's a Republican on the state Senate board, and she's on the Senate and all of that. Let me see, can I pull this article, man? I'm gonna see, can I play it for y'all so y'all can hear what she said. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
Are you opposing America's unity?
Joining me now, Texas Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, the sponsor of the Juneteenth legislation in the House. Congresswoman, you gavelled this overwhelmingly bipartisan vote in the House last night. The vote was 415 to 14. Talk a little bit about the significance for you, for your home state of Texas, and of course, for our nation, who has, this is a remarkable day in our history that will only be formally acknowledged starting this weekend.
Casey, thank you for having me this afternoon.
And notice what this devil said, man. She said it will only be formally acknowledged from this day. Meaning, all of those times that black people were celebrating it every Juneteenth, every time that we were celebrating it on our own, they didn't acknowledge it. They didn't care about that. They didn't give a damn about it. That's what she's saying. She's saying only now will it be acknowledged. So all of those other times, even when black people started doing it back then, America never acknowledged Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, they didn't acknowledge the fact that you were free. They didn't acknowledge the fact that the so-called cavalry marched down and said that you were free. They didn't acknowledge that. They didn't give a damn about it. Only now America acknowledges it. So before then, before this bill got signed into law, America didn't think of you as being free, man. They just always acknowledged you as a slave, even though that bill was passed. They didn't care about you fighting for your independence, your so-called independence. They didn't acknowledge the fact that, you know, this day was a day to remember your independence. In other words, it's like America celebrating the 4th of July and black people don't celebrate it, don't acknowledge it. You got to think about how America would feel if all black people start celebrating it, 4th of July, all Latinos and all Native Indians. It'd be an argument every now and then. Oh, you need to leave America if you don't acknowledge the fact of our independence. You're an American too. You should be happy that you got your independence. We fought for you to be free. That's what you would hear if you didn't celebrate America's Independence Day. If you didn't go out there and cook on the grills and buy all of those different things. That's the only reason America is not complaining on 4th of July. Because you have a ton of black people who still give their money to America on the 4th of July, who still go out and buy fireworks and shoot firecrackers because they acknowledge the fact that America has their independence. But only until this week, that just last week, America now acknowledges the fact that black people got their independence from them. It's like a slap in the face, man. The same people who had you in slavery are the same ones who are telling you, okay, we acknowledge you being free now. We acknowledge it. We acknowledge your independence. That makes no sense, man. It makes no sense at all. Think about that. How can the same people who put you in slavery be the same people who tell you, okay, now we acknowledge the fact that you're free? We give you your independence now. Now we respect your independence now. We give your independence to you now, June the 19th, 2021. We acknowledge it now. Before then, we didn't give a damn. We didn't care. Y'all was still slaves. But now, after Juneteenth just passed, everybody's happy because they passed the bill and made it a federal holiday, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's disgusting, man. It's horrible, man. That's why the Bible says a gift destroyed the heart. Them making Juneteenth a holiday, a federal holiday, was just another gift to destroy us, man. Because what we not doing, we're not looking at what they really should be giving us, man. The bigger picture. What we don't understand is a lot of our black people who are not inside the truth, a lot of our Latinos and Native Indians who are not in the truth, this is what they don't understand. America passed a bill called the Asian Crime Bill, which gives Asians security from people doing crimes to them in America, man. Meaning if you do something, let's say you knock an Asian out. If they catch you doing it, that is going to be labeled a hate crime. That is going to be labeled a hate crime. They're going to have somebody to speak up against the situation. Oh, he hit an Asian. Okay, they're going to take you to court. You're going to be incarcerated, and they're going to charge you with hate crimes. And now you getting charged with a hate crime, I mean, they can carry to 10 to 15 years easy, man. 20 years easy. Easy. Now, the Asians got that. But the Asians weren't put into slavery, man. The Asians weren't hung from trees and set on fire. The Asians weren't put on slave ships and brought here to America, man. That didn't happen to them, but it happened to us. But the Asians got an Asian crime hate bill. That's what they got. Now, let me keep playing this video for you, man. With this sister, man. This sister, Republican Jackson Lee, one of our so-called black leaders, man.
Cannot imagine the moment that gavel came down. I really brought it down for those who do not live. This was so significant because I have heard from people across the country, and it reckoned with the fact that 250,000 people were held as property for 2.5 more years. And frankly, I believe the affirmation of this legislation.
And this is so disgusting. She's only acknowledging the 250,000 people in Texas that were held captive, man. She's not acknowledging the millions and millions and millions upon millions of black folks who were still held captive in America even after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed into law. She's just acknowledging the ones in Texas. You know why she's acknowledging the one in Texas? Because she's from Texas.
This holiday, 48 years since the last federal holiday was established, really indicated that the original sin of this nation was acknowledged, that America can begin to talk about it in a unified manner, and that we accepted the words of Abraham Lincoln. A nation divided against itself cannot stand. Last night.
Did you hear this woman? This woman said, since they passed Juneteenth as a bill, America has now acknowledged the fact of their sins of slavery. Because they made Juneteenth a federal holiday, that means America has acknowledged their crime, their sin of slavery. Come on, man. And you mean to tell me we still got to continue to listen to our black leaders? We should be happy that they got this law passed into existence? No, man, this goes perfect with the scriptures, man. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7. You know, oppression make a wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. This woman right here is so happy, man. You know what I'm saying? She's not even understanding that this gift has destroyed her heart. This woman just came out of her mouth and said that them passing this bill is the way of America acknowledging their sins of slavery. Because they made Juneteenth a federal holiday, is them acknowledging the fact that they accept their role in slavery? We won't accept that here in the ISUPK, man. We don't accept Juneteenth as America acknowledging their sin of slavery here in America, man. You don't speak for all of us, Republican Jackson Lee, Shirley Jackson Lee. You speak for you Uncle Tom big head Negroes up there, man, and you wicked pastors. That's who you speak for. But you don't speak for us, man. You can't whore us out like you whore yourself out, man. We don't want that. That's not good enough, man. We want what the Lord says that we should have, man. The Most High says in the scripture, if a man lead a man into captivity, he shall go into captivity. That's what we want. We don't want no national holiday that massa makes, that massa gives us. We don't want that. We don't want your recreations. We don't want that. We don't want your money. We don't want your pity. We don't want you to feel sorry for us. We want what the Most High says should happen. If a man leads a man into captivity, he should go into captivity. That's what we want. We want that. We don't want what you want to give us. Just because you got these Uncle Tom big head Negroes in there speaking on the behalf of black folks, that's not how we all feel, man. We all don't feel that way, man. Because we know that this right here is going to destroy our hearts, man. We know this is going to destroy our hearts more and more and push us more into a hole until it's going to be even more harder for us to give out. Because you got to understand something. Juneteenth was Saturday. Juneteenth was Saturday. Have y'all seen anybody else on Facebook talking about Juneteenth today? Have you seen anybody else speaking about it? You know what I'm saying? Have you seen anybody else with the black fist up? Hell no. It's just another gift to destroy our hearts, man. Just something else to put us farther in sleep, make us forget about our conditions. You're going to turn on your TV again. You're going to see black men continue to get shot and get murdered. And you're going to come to a realization that it doesn't even matter. None of this stuff even matters, man. All right, let me go ahead and read the rest of this article. What this sister saying, man.
Republicans and Democrats, 415, voted to make Juneteenth a national holiday. In Texas, we have a lot of fun. We have great celebrations, but it is sober and somber and real, and Americans will have that opportunity to experience that in a federal holiday.
I'm going to rewind this back and let you listen to what this sister said. And you got to listen closely to what she says.
Congresswoman,
415 voted to make June really indicated that the original sin of this nation was acknowledged, that America can begin to talk about it in a unified manner, and that we accepted the words of Abraham Lincoln, a nation divided against itself cannot stand. Last night, Republicans and Democrats.
She said, we acknowledge what Abraham said, what Abraham Lincoln said. She acknowledged what Abraham Lincoln said. And she said, a house divided cannot stand. And let me look, and she's about to tell you what she's talking about when she said that.
415 voted to make Juneteenth a national holiday. In Texas, we have a lot of fun. We have great celebrations, but it is sober, five manner, and that we accepted the words of Abraham Lincoln. A nation divided against itself cannot stand. Last night, Republicans and Democrats, 415, voted to make Juneteenth a national holiday. In Texas, we have a lot of fun. We have great celebrations.
When she said a nation divided against each other, when she said we acknowledge what Abraham Lincoln said, that a nation divided against each other cannot stand, she wasn't talking about black people and white people. She was talking about the Republican Party and the Democratic Party.
And begin to talk about it in a unified manner, and that we accepted the words of Abraham Lincoln. A nation divided against itself cannot stand. Last night, Republicans and Democrats, 415, voted to make Juneteenth a national holiday. In Texas, we have a lot of...
All right, she said that sheesh, man, this is... She said the Republican Party and the Democratic Party came together to pass this law. Now, I'm going to sidebar from what she said, and we're going to go back to what she said. Because we all know that the Asian crime bill got passed, right? They passed the Asian crime bill. Now, this sister right here said that a nation divided cannot stand. She's speaking on behalf of how the Republican Party, which she knows is racist, and the Democratic Party, which is supposed to be for blacks, how they all came together to pass this bill acknowledging the fact of America's sin. Now let's find out if they had a problem when they passed the Asian crime bill. Let me get this for you right quick. Let me get this for you. Let me get this for you, man. All right, this is an article on the Asian crime bill. It says House passes anti-hate crime bill, Asian hate crime bill. Let's find out how many people voted for this bill. All right, okay, this is the amount of people who voted for the Asian hate crime bill to be passed. It says the legislation, which the Senate passed in a 94-1 vote last month, directs the Department of Justice to expedite the review of the COVID-related hate crimes that were reported to law enforcement agency and help establish ways to report such incidents online to perform public outreach. All right, so this bill that got passed for the Asian crime hate bill, it was a 94-1 vote, meaning all 94 people in the Senate, both Republican and Democratic, came to an agreement to vote on this bill. But one person. But notice, you didn't hear nothing about the sister Sheila Jackson Lee speak up against that. You didn't hear her say a house divided together can't stand to pass the Asian crime hate bill. They all came into an agreement and passed that bill, but one person. But this bill to be passed, the so-called to make Juneteenth a federal holiday, they had to damn near pull teeth and everything out of everybody's mouth. You got to understand, this bill just got passed in 2021. They said we got free from slavery in 1863. It took that long for America to acknowledge us being free. So they say. But they passed the Asian crime bill way months before they passed the bill for us. And then you got to ask yourself this question. Which one do you think is more important, man? Which one do you think is more important? Which one would you rather have? A federal holiday or a crime bill to protect you from people murdering you in the streets for no reason? Which one would you rather have? I'm going to get some people in the comment section in the class to answer that question for me. Oh, man. I'm going to go ahead and I know a lot of y'all going to say what I'm going to say. You would rather have a bill passed for you to have a so-called African-American hate crime bill. Damn right. The brother, young man, get that brother a hand. Damn right. The crime bill. The crime bill is more important. If we could have had something like that passed for us, that'd be better. Sean, you're right. The crime bill is still... Damn right. That's exactly right. The brother Sean said the crime bill for them to leave us alone so we can separate. That's right. They wouldn't want to pass the crime bill for black people. Because if they had to pass that bill for us, they would have no choice but to leave us alone and separate from us. They would have to stop murdering us in the streets. And with them not passing that bill means, guess what? They don't want to stop murdering you in the streets. They want to kill you. They want to put you in prison. Why do you think they're trying to bring back the electric chair, man? Why do you think they're trying to bring back the firing squad back? Because they want you to commit crimes and they want to do what their forefathers did to you. Shoot you down, put you in an electric chair. Think of all type of ways on how they can torture you, man. That's why they didn't give us a so-called hate crime bill to help protect blacks. You can't pass no bill like that, man. That would have been a real victory. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a little small token of all of the horrible things that they have done to us, man. I'm gonna keep playing the rest of this article. This disgusting sister Jackson Lee, man.
Fun. We have great celebrations, but it is sober and somber. 15 voted to make Juneteenth a national holiday. That the original sin of this, it reckoned with the fact that 250,000 people were held as property for 2.5 more years. And frankly, I believe the affirmation of this legislation, this holiday, 48 years since the last federal holiday was established, really indicated that the original sin of this nation was acknowledged, that America can begin to talk about it in a unified manner, and that we accepted the words of Abraham Lincoln, a nation divided against itself cannot stand. Last night, Republicans and Democrats, 415, voted to make Juneteenth a national holiday. In Texas, we have a lot of fun. We have great celebrations, but it is sober and somber and real, and Americans will have that opportunity to experience that in a federal holiday.
So now what she's saying is Americans will be able to experience Juneteenth as well. Like, they're taking everything that we try to get for ourselves and give it to the heathens. Now, Juneteenth, which was something that black people did on their own, you know what I'm saying? We did Juneteenth on our own. And it was good like that. We had good, you had brothers and sisters, man, who were having little festival events. You know, they got their table set up. You know, they got Black Power shirts. They selling food, doing these different things on Juneteenth because it was a day that we acknowledged for ourselves. You know, black people didn't give a damn about going to America and getting them to make this a federal holiday. But now that they have made a federal holiday, the people in your big head your big head politicians and Christian leaders, they want this day to also be for all of Americans. Like she said, it's supposed to be a day that, we should be happy because this is showing that America acknowledged their sin of slavery against us. But then in the same sentence, she turns around and say, now all of Americans can enjoy this day. This isn't America acknowledging their sin. This is America not giving a damn about their sin. This is America telling Negroes, shut up. Okay, shut up. We're going to celebrate it too. Okay, we'll do that. And then you're going to turn around 20 years from now. Juneteenth is going to be a celebration for Africans and Chinese people. The day that was supposed to be for black folks. In 20 years, if the Lord ain't back, Juneteenth is going to be a day the Chinese people got free because they're going to be able to celebrate it as well. Like she just said, it's going to be a day for all of Americans to enjoy. You're going to have the Irish people celebrating the Juneteenth. You're going to have the so-called Palestinians celebrate it. Hell, the Jewish man going to be celebrating Juneteenth. Because then they're going to look at it like everybody has their independence. So we all should celebrate us having our independence. Know what I'm saying? Like, our leaders are truly dumb, man. Dumb and stupid. Let me get the rest of this, man.
So, Congresswoman, let's talk about another critical civil rights question at hand today and this year, and that's voting rights, which is really a fundamental existential question for so many people. We saw Senator Joe Manchin circulating a list of demands he wants to change the For the People Act, and says these are things he would compromise on. He does want to make Election Day a public holiday and ban partisan gerrymandering, but he'd use a computer formula to do that. He also wants to...
All right, that's enough of that, man. That's enough of that trash from our so-called black leaders. You know what I'm saying? That's enough from our dumb black leaders, man. Now, let me get this scripture for you. This is Isaiah chapter 56, verse 10. This is Isaiah chapter 56, verse 10. It says, his watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. You know what I'm saying? And who are black people's watchmen today? Let me get an answer from y'all in the class tonight. Who are black people's watchmen today? Black, Latino, and Native Indian. Who are our watchmen today? D'Angelo, brother, you are right. But thinking of it in a sense of as black people in the world, not in the truth. Who are black people in the world's leader? Not here in the UPK. Yeah, you're right. The ISUPK is supposed to be the leaders of black people. But our brothers and sisters don't acknowledge that. But who do black people acknowledge as their leaders here in America? Who are their black leaders that they acknowledge? That brother is Sean right. He's right. Preachers. Come on, give me a couple more. Preachers is one of them. Just one more. I need one more. You got preachers. Who else? That's another one too. Entertainers. But I'm looking for one to nail it right on the head. Preachers, entertainers. Come on, there's one more. We was just listening to one. I might have to give it to y'all for time's sake. I'm trying to get y'all, let y'all answer it. See who's all in class paying attention. We were just listening to that one of our leaders. One of the so-called black leaders. We just listened to her speaking. Who else is one of black people's? There we go. There we go. Right there. Black politicians. Ooh. Damn. Black politicians, black pastors are the main two. The entertainers, they do lead us as well, but the main ones, right, in the Senate, same thing, politicians. But those politicians, man, and those pastors, man, they have did a number on us, man. And that's why in the book of Isaiah chapter 56, verse 10, it says this: his watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. These black politicians and these black pastors and some of these black entertainers, some, not all, they are all ignorant. This sister, Sheila Jackson, who's a Republican from Texas, had the nerve to say that, now all of America can, celebrate Juneteenth. All of America, everybody. Your Christian pastors and your leaders, they were so happy about Juneteenth, you can only imagine. You know what I'm saying? They are blind, man. They don't see the truth behind these things. They're blind. Only here in the Isupk, and like the brother D'Angelo said, he was so right when he said the Isupk is the leader of black people. But they don't acknowledge us. Not yet. They will soon, but not yet. They acknowledge these black politicians and these black pastors and preachers as their leaders, man. And the Most High said they are dumb because they are the watchmen that are over us now, man. They are the ones who sit in the seat with the so-called Caucasian man, the oppressor, and they speak on our behalf. Our so-called preachers are the ones who are teaching us. You know what I'm saying? You're right. Y'all got it right. The brother Mikey, he said politicians as well. But your so-called black Christians are the ones who are supposed to teach us the laws, statutes, and commandments, which would make us righteous. And then you have your Senate, who was supposed to be able to go in there and speak on our behalf on things that we want to get done. You know what I'm saying? But now we got these stupid, dumb leaders who are blind, man, and they ignorant. They are ignorant as hell. They'll take any crumb that falls from the table of the so-called oppressor, man. And this bill being passed was just a small crumb, man. You know what I'm saying? The Juneteenth man made a federal holiday was a small band-aid on the decapitation of black people, man. We don't have pieces of our body here in America as a whole amputated. And they gave us Juneteenth. It was a band-aid. Just to heal the little wound, just to try to heal our wounds, just a small band-aid to try to help heal the different body parts they don't amputate it from us, man. I'm gonna keep reading. Isaiah chapter 56, verse 10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. You know what I'm saying? They can't bark. They not warning the people on what's about to happen, because that's what a dog is used for. A dog is supposed to bark when he senses trouble coming around. Our leaders, they can't bark, man. They can't tell us when, something is about to happen. They're not giving us the warning signs that we need in order for us to survive here in America, man. Damn right. That brother Sean Wright said a Band-Aid that's going to fall in due time. You damn right, because guess what? That Band-Aid ain't going to heal nothing. That Band-Aid ain't going to heal nothing. Because our leaders, they are stupid, man. They can't bark, man. They can't warn us on the things that's finna come to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that things are going to get even worse? You don't think things are going to still continue to get worse for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Okay, yeah, they give us a federal holiday. It's not going to make a difference, man. It's not going to change the hearts of these so-called oppressors, man. It's not going to change their mind. It's not going to make them think any different about how they feel about us, man. And it damn sure ain't going to protect us. This bill being passed ain't going to protect us from anything. It ain't going to help us. It ain't going to make police stop shooting you in the streets. Stop you from getting killed in the streets. Stop you from being, racially profiled and pulled over by police. It's not going to stop any of that, man. All right, I'm going to keep reading. It says, his watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. Sleeping, lying down, and loving to slumber. And that's what we see happening now, man. Our leaders, they just want to sleep. You know what I'm saying? They just sleep, man. They sleep. They not paying attention to anything what's truly going on. Our Christian pastors, how many of your Christian pastors spoke up? Matter of fact, let me make it even more deeper. How many of those so-called black politicians who passed the Asian crime hate bill, how many of them spoke up when that video surfaced about 2 weeks ago of the 6-year-old brother being shot in the arm by an Asian man? How many of them same Republicans, those black politicians who helped to pass that bill for the anti-hate crime bill, how many of them spoke up when they seen that so-called Asian man shoot that young 6-year-old brother in the arm? I'm gonna let y'all answer that in the chat room. How many of them spoke up? Damn right. The brother shine right. Give him a hand. None. Not none. Damn right. D'Angelo said, I heard none. None of them. None of them spoke up. You know who spoke up about it? The Isupk did. We spoke up about it. We went to the streets and we blazed on the streets about it. But your leaders, these so-called black leaders, right, the sister Natasha, she right too. Give her a hand. Give her a hand. She right. She said none. 6-year-old brother, man, young brother, 6 years old, got shot in the arm by an Asian, a grown man. And this is the worst thing about it. That 6-year-old brother who got shot in the arm by that 6-year-old, that same Asian tried to hit him with a sledgehammer before he shot him in the arm. Which one is worse? Like, damn. He tried to hit the 6-year-old brother with a sledgehammer. Was chasing him around with the sledgehammer. And the young brother, after he got shot, they interviewed him. The young brother said he was chasing me around with a sledgehammer, and he tried to hit me with it, but he couldn't catch me because I was too fast. That's a hate crime, man. Why did he do that to that little boy? He hated that little boy, man. Damn right, it's Sean right. In the Chinese guy, he got a bun for $10,000. His bun was $10,000. You think about that bun being $10,000. You only have to pay a certain percentage of $10,000. Anybody know anything about buns? What's the percentage you have to pay of a bun in order for you to get free? His bun was set at $10,000. Salaki. If your bun set at $10,000, what's the percentage you got to pay to get out? I think it's like 10%. Let me see if some of y'all in the... And right, Kazak Shapar, he right. Kazak, you might know a little thing about that. I'm just playing Salak, yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, you got to pay 10% of your bun to get out. And Kazak's right. Wise man, Kazak said, you only got to pay 10% to get out. He got a $10,000 bun for shooting a 6-year-old in the arm and chasing him around in the yard with a sledgehammer. And we talking about the same people who got a bill passed for him. Sister Natasha Wright as well. She said $1,000, man. $1,000. And this filthy heathen chased one of our children around in the yard with a sledgehammer. Was trying to hit him with it, but couldn't catch him, so pulled out a gun and shot him in the arm. 6 years old, man. But you got our stupid, dumb leaders who are just so happy, man. I wish I could show you the video of the sister, man. Of the sister who was up there when Joe Biden signed the bill into a law making Juneteenth a federal holiday. You know, she was just looking so... It was very disturbing, man, because of how she screamed. Like, she screamed like somebody had pulled out a knife. When Dirty Joe signed that bill, she screamed, and everybody was looking at her in shock, like, oh my God, what's she screaming for? Damn right, get that brother Sean. Hey, he's right. If he would have killed the 6-year-old brother, he still would have been free, man. But you don't see our black leaders talking about this, man. You don't see our black leaders talking about this happening. $10,000, man. Damn right, that is Trayvon Martin all over again. And the Most High was with that young brother, man. That young brother survived, man. Because that young brother is hardcore. You got to look at the video. Look at the video. That little young brother is hardcore, man. I pray that young brother comes into the truth. He's hardcore. He got shot in the arm. He might have cried and everything, which is understandable. But after that, he was tawab. Right, Khan. Yeah, and that heathen, he shot through the window at his house, man. After he chased the little brother around with the sledgehammer, he went in the house and shot outside his window and shot the young brother, man. And you got to think about it. He shot him in the arm. He wasn't truly aiming for his arm, because he shot the young brother right here. He shot him right here in the arm. What's close to that arm right here? Your heart. He was trying to kill the little brother. When he shot, he was hoping he killed him, But instead of it killing him, it only hit him in the arm. The Most High was with that young brother, man. And that filthy heathen, they put his picture up, but guess what? He's free. He's gone. And it was so bad because our black leaders didn't speak about the situation. It was us. It was the black poor people, the ones in the ghettos, the ones who have it hard. We were on social media speaking about it so much that it started to gain public attention that the same court system who gave him the $1,000 bond, they had to go back and get him again and put him back in prison and raise his bond. And guess what? Guess who did that? We did it. The poor blacks, not your politicians, not your black Christian pastors, none of them, because they didn't even say anything about it. And like the scripture says, man, they all sleeping and lying down, man. They loving to sleep, man. They just relaxing. That's why they need to step down from their seats, man, and let the ISUPK underneath Commander General Hunter take over, man, and show them how to lead blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All of that money that they're getting, they're collecting from our people, it needs to be given to General Hunter so we can show them how to truly take care of people. That money would go into so many different organizations here to build different programs. You know what I'm saying? We're doing so much now without any funds. But could you imagine what would happen if we were able to get the resources that our black Christian pastors have, our black politicians have? If we were able to get the millions of dollars that they receive every year, man, we would have homeless shelters, man. We would have centers that are literally built for counseling black folks. We would have so much, man. But we got these weak leaders, man. We got these weak leaders who are supposed to be our watchmen, but all of them are blind, man. They don't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? They so dumb. They so stupid. You know what I'm saying? They could see a meteorite coming out the sky. Like the meteorite coming out the sky. They so blind, they wouldn't even see it. They'll turn their head and keep walking. They're that dumb. They're that stupid. They're not giving us a warning. They're not warning us on the things that's going to happen. You know, I seen black folks in the streets, you know, crying, you know, happy about Juneteenth. But General Haas said something that was very heavy, man. General Haas said, if you a so-called black man and you acknowledge Juneteenth, it was the day that the slaves got free, you're acknowledging the fact that you're an Israelite, man. You're acknowledging the fact that your forefathers come from the nation of Israel. Because the nation of Israel was prophesied to go into slavery, man. And they're acknowledging it. All your conscious communities, all your blacks, all of your I'm not an Israelite, they all acknowledge Juneteenth. But that was just more proof to show that you are an Israelite. Because the children of Israel were prophesied to go into slavery, which are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. It was prophesied. So you went out there and acknowledged it. You acknowledge the fact that you were Israelite. And the scriptures also say this about Israel, man. The Most High said, Israel, we have watchmen who are blind. Who are those watchmen? Our black politicians, our black preachers, man. They are all blind, man. And they're ignorant. Like they're out of their damn mind, man. I'm going to keep reading. It says they are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, and loving to slumber. Verse 11. Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough. And that's what our black politicians are, man. Our black Christian pastors, man. They are all greedy dogs, which can never have enough. Me and Kazak Shapar was talking about this weekend, man. And he was just like, you know, how crazy can our people be, man? Like, we got to be out of our mind, man. You know, because you got black politicians who are happy that Juneteenth became a national federal holiday. But the only reason a lot of them did that is because a lot of them are reaping the benefits from this, man. They got a little cut coming off of this. They got a little stash spot that they're receiving funds from somebody from. You don't think a lot of them black politicians got paid, man, to help push this? You don't think they got a little bonus? You could think about it. You at a job, and let's say you're a salesman. You sell a certain amount of things. You're going to get a good check. You're going to receive some type of bonus. So you think about all them black politicians who helped push this bill into existence, which is furthermore sent to destroy black people and make us in a worse condition. Think about what type of bonus they receive, man. What type of money they got from that situation, man. You know, that sister, what's her name? That sister, Sheila Jackson Lee. You know, imagine if she got $500,000 or $1 million or 2.3 million to help pass this bill. You know, the people that are paying her to come and speak on different news stations. You know, how many black churches are going to pay to have her come in there? You understand, she's from Texas. Think about how many churches are going to, mega churches, black mega churches, are going to pay her hundreds of thousands of dollars to come to their church and speak on Sunday. Because they all working in together to get this money, man. That's why the scriptures say they are greedy dogs, man. They doing all of this because it's beneficial for them. They get paid off this also, man. All right, and it says they can never have enough. It's like, goddamn, like you don't have enough. You don't help destroy us to so much, man, that you don't start making money off us now. Our own black politicians, they get paid off us being destroyed as well. You know what I'm saying? They can never have enough. You would think by now, you'd be like, damn, you know, I know they don't make a lot of money. You would think they have enough, but they haven't. I'm going to keep reading. Verse 11, Isaiah chapter 56, verse 11. Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're all doing, man. They don't understand. They don't understand how much this bill is truly going to destroy us, man. And the reason they can't they understand is because they look for their own way to get their own personal gain. Just like, what's his name, Al Sharpton? You know, he tried to speak about the Juneteenth thing, saying that, oh, man, so like, he went out there and said that, you know, he never gave up the fight. He always fought. He kept fighting to help push this bill. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason he said that, because he's looking his own way, man. He don't understand. He's just doing this for his own personal gain, man. That's the only reason he's doing this. For his own personal gain, so he can make money, so he can stuff his pockets. Along with all your other black politicians, along with all your black pastors, all of them. You better believe they're going to be calling these black senators and these black Republicans. And matter of fact, one of the senators, the senator from Georgia, is a Christian pastor. One of the same ones who was standing right behind Joe Biden is a Christian pastor. God damn, Salaki. He's a Christian pastor. Let me show you who the senator is right now, man. Sheesh. The senator right now for Georgia is Raphael Warnock. You know what I'm saying? His name is Raphael Warnock. And this is really say Raphael Warnock is an American pastor and politician serving as senior pastor of Ebenezer, say that again, Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. How could I forget about him, man? How in the hell could I forget about him? Sheesh, man. Damn. Got a little dirt on him, too. I got a little dirt on him. Yeah, I got a little, I'm gonna bring that out in a whole nother class about him and his behavior. But damn. One of the senators who helped pass this bill is a Christian pastor, man. I'm telling you, man. They do these things for their own personal gain. You got to think about how much money he's going to benefit from this bill being passed. You can only think about when he went back. If he's the pastor, I wonder if he went back to his church the next day, man. If he went to his church Sunday, after this bill being passed, think about how much money he brought to that church, man. Think about how much money came to his church this past Sunday. He's already a politician, so he's on a salary. He's making money. Not only is he a so-called senator, he's the senator over Georgia. Not just Atlanta, not just one part, but over the whole Georgia. This Christian pastor is the senator over the whole Georgia. Now, this same filthy, disgusting pastor was up behind Joe Biden when he signed that bill to make Juneteenth a federal holiday. And you think about when he went back to his church in Atlanta, because that church he attends is in Atlanta. Think about how many people came to that church that following Sunday. His church probably was full to the max with people, giving him all type of money. Now, I don't know if y'all ready for the real cut, but we're going to show you something else that's going to break. It's going to furthermore let you realize how much more we are destroyed, man. Now, Juneteenth has now become a federal holiday, right? Which is on June the 19th. Juneteenth has become a federal holiday on June the 19th. Now, let me ask y'all another question. What other so-called tradition America keeps comes right after June 19th? I'm going to let y'all answer it in the comment section. What other so-called tradition? There we go. Mikey Patterson got it right. Father's Day. Father's Day came right after Juneteenth. Now let me help break this down for you. America has passed Juneteenth as a federal holiday. Right after Juneteenth, Father's Day falls in right behind it. America passed Juneteenth and made it a federal holiday because guess what? Now they're going to make even more money on that weekend of Father's Day. Independence Day is right, but Juneteenth, Father's Day is the next day that everybody celebrates. One thing America knows, they know a lot of black people don't really celebrate Father's Day like that. Father's Day is more of a Caucasian day, because guess what? A lot of oppressors got their fathers, but a lot of us don't. You know what I'm saying? Right, Sean, don't worry. I forgot about Father's Day as well. A lot of black people forget about Father's Day because black fathers are forgotten. So yes, Father's Day is that day that's after that. But a lot of so-called oppressors keep Father's Day. They spend a ton of money on Father's Day because they honor their fathers. They get them the gifts and all of these different things. So now America, with their craftiness, they made Juneteenth a federal holiday. So with this being the holiday, guess what that means now? Sooner or later, you're going to walk into Belk's at your mall, or you're going to walk inside of these different places where you go shopping at, and you're going to start to see shirts that say Happy Juneteenth on it. It's going to say Happy Juneteenth, and they're going to start selling shirts. They're going to start selling cards. They're going to start selling bumper stickers. They're going to start doing all type of things in order for black people to buy so we can furthermore boost their economy. Like America is a true pimp. They're going to give you Juneteenth, make it a federal holiday, and they're going to start pushing things inside of different stores like, make this shirt. They're going to start getting with black designers. They're going to start sitting down with black people, getting ideas on what type of shirts that they think that they can make for Juneteenth that might sell. And it's going to start being sold into your stores. And guess what black people are going to do? Guess what black people are going to do when Juneteenth comes up next year, and you might have Old Navy selling Juneteenth shirts or something. What do you think black people are going to do when they walk inside of Old Navy and see the Juneteenth shirts on June the 16th? What do you think they're going to do when they see them shirts next year? I'm going to let y'all answer that. What do you think black people are going to do next year when it's time to celebrate Juneteenth? And you got Belk selling Happy Juneteenth shirts. And you got Old Navy selling Happy Juneteenth shirts and different things. What do you think black people are going to do when they see these things next year? Damn right. Get that brother a shine a hand. He's right. They're going to buy them all. They're going to buy them all. Now our oppressors, they're going to get, come on, man. Think about how diabolical this is, man. A day in which we celebrated as a representation showing that we got our independence. This was famous amongst black people. This was a day when black people went out and we did our own thing on this Saturday. We had our own little things. We were selling shirts. We were selling food, selling hair products. You know, you had different booths at different locations. Like you might go out to a venue somewhere and you got all of these black people set up, tents everywhere with them having shirts, hair products, skin creams, and everything, which is really meant to cater to black folks. And we come out there and spend tons of dollars with each other out there. Now America has made that a so-called federal holiday. Now that's showing that not only can we make money off ourselves, but these so-called oppressors are going to start making money off us. They going to start making money off us. They going to start having just like they got they got Pride Month, right? They got Pride Month. Think about all of the different things got sold this year to show damn right. And Sean is right. They're boosting the Father's Day money. You know what I'm saying? Damn right. They're boosting it up. They're making more money. You think about it. It's like, damn, they hustling, man. Yet you think about how they did this month for Gay Pride Month. Damn. Damn, they put Pride Month in the same month as Juneteenth. I just thought about that. Damn. Damn. So like it. Black people get Juneteenth in the month of Pride Month. And I didn't even think about that until just now, man. You're going to have Juneteenth. You got Pride Month, Juneteenth, Father's Day. I'm talking about this thing is going to be diet next year for Juneteenth. If the Lord hasn't come back, next Juneteenth is going to be something truly horrible, man. You're going to have Pride Month. You're going to have Juneteenth. They're gonna make so much money. And like this month right here, they dedicated so much to the LGBTQ community, man. Like you had the gay mayonnaise. It's like it, the homosexual mayonnaise. You had the mayonnaise and it was the rainbow color. You had the Skittles. You had all these different things showing respect to the LGBT community. Now you throw Juneteenth in there as a federal holiday. Next year you're going to have, imagine next year when they come out with the Skittles and they're going to be all brown. They're going to have brown Skittles next year that indicate Juneteenth. And think about how many black folks going to go buy them brown Skittles, man. They're going to buy them up. Damn right. He said, Biden said, gay life is black life. Sheesh. Our people don't get it, man. Our black leaders, they don't get it either, man. That's why Isaiah 56:10 is so important, man. It says, his watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down and loving the slumber, man. They don't get it, man. Get y'all some more scriptures, man. If y'all could, go to the book of Lamentations. The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. It says, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. You know what I'm saying? Like our eyes have failed for our vain help, man. Because we think that America passing this bill is helping us. We think this is help. We think we finally won something. We finally got the help that we needed from America, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm keep reading. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Right? And America can't save us, man. We think Juneteenth being passed as a bill is a way that America has saved us, man. Like that sister said, you know, America has finally acknowledged themselves on the sins that they have committed against us, man. But that's her wanting America to save her, man. That's what she thinks. She thinks America acknowledging what they done to us is them saving us, man. So like it. Let me get another scripture for y'all also. you could, go to the book of Ecclesiasticus. That's in the Apocrypha. Book of Ecclesiasticus. Go to chapter 12 and verse 10. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. And it reads, "Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." You know what I'm saying? Like the scripture says, man, never trust thy enemy. And that's what our black leaders have done, man. They have trusted in our enemy. Not understanding and being so blind, like Isaiah 56 said, blind leaders, man. They're so blind that they trust in our enemies, man. Because you got to understand something. If you was to ever go back and check Joe Biden's lineage, you're going to find out a lot of his family had ties in with slavery, was making money off of it. These people are our enemies, man, and we have put our trust inside of them as if they truly care about us, man. Nothing's going to change for us just because we voted for this bill. Well, we didn't vote. Just because they passed this bill to be in law, man. You know, now more black people are going to love Joe Biden. They're going to love Joe Biden. And then you know how we are. We know what we like to say. You know, black people are like, what Joe Biden done did for black people? Guess what they going to say? Joe Biden made June 19th a national holiday. That's what they going to say. That's exactly what they're going to say, man. Oh, Joe Biden, man, he made Juneteenth a national holiday. Don't you talk about Joe Biden like that. But they're not going to think about what else he did. He gave the agents the Asian crime hate bill. He did that also. While we still get murdered in the streets, you know, he going to go ahead and give the agents the crime hate bill. And he gives black people a federal holiday. Now, you sit back, all you people who voted for Joe Biden and think he truly did something, think about that. Joe Biden gave agents a crime bill which will protect them, which will make anybody who attacks them will be charged with a federal hate crime, which carries easily to 10 to 20 years, easily. Like, that's off the minimum. Like, you're going to get that anyway. Like 10 and 20 years, you should expect that. That's if you touch an Asian. Black people, you get a day off from work. That's what you get. You get a day off from work. And we supposed to be happy with that. You get a day off from work, and they want you to be happy for that. But they're not going to let you get a federal crime bill passed, man. I'm going to read that again. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right, go to the book of Psalms, chapter 118, verse 8 through 9. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in the Most High than to put confidence in man. And that's what's the problem with our black leaders, man. They have put their confidence in a man. Not just any type of man, but our enemy. They're more confident than him than they are in the Most High, man. That's why all of these people were celebrating Juneteenth this week. Like, when they got it signed into law, they were more happy with that because they don't put their confidence in the Most High, man. They put their confidence in man. That's why they were so happy this weekend, because they're more confident in Joe Biden than what they are with the Most High, man. The same power who brought us out of Egypt, you're not confident in him. You're more confident in Joe Biden because he passes bills to get you a day off from work, or he gets you stimulus checks. You're confident in him. You know, Joe Biden, man, he's won the hearts of many black folks now. Like, I'm like, this nigga done gave out free money and he gave us a day off from work. Damn. And he gave black people, not just blacks, but he gave us more unemployment money and everything. Like, this nigga done won us over, man. He done got us. But like the scriptures say, man, a gift destroyeth the heart. These are just gifts to furthermore destroy you, man. You know what I'm saying? And rather you put your confidence in the Most High, you put it in this man, which is our enemy, man. I'm going to keep reading. It says, it's like the book of Psalms, chapter 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in the Most High than to put confidence in a man. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be putting our confidence in men. You need to put your confidence in the Most High, man. All right, with that, we're going to end the class, man. And you know, tonight is Monday. General Yohana, man, he's doing the grill live, Black Watch, man. Y'all need to tune into that. That goes on at 9 o'clock, man. That is something that we do need to watch, man. All right. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 through 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. You know, we just closed out the Feast of First Fruits yesterday. Get that a hand for all the brothers and sisters, man, who came through. It was glorious. You know, we kept the Lord's traditions, man, our feast day, and we closed out. But the next high holy day will be the memorial blowing of the trumpets. It'll be the first day of the 7th month, which will be Monday, September the 6th, 2021. You can read about this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 through 25. All right? Remind Akimi and Akwafna to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, shalom.